By the way, oh my God, the new set of SPAC Nation people, this
Actually, right, let me just start this again. This is a video response to the exposer, right? Now, I follow a lot of people, I get a lot of notifications, and I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of videos that I'm in the making, right? I'm working on a documentary talking about where is the white church when it comes down to the injustices, yeah, that happens in society, right? But then this leads me on to think that sometimes the stuff that happens within black churches, yeah, white churches or white Christians, we live in a Christian nation, they seem to be just quiet, not saying anything, don't really get involved. We are truly our brother's keeper, right? Now, this is not about a black and a white issue. However, when we come into the body of Christ, it's a body, right? And it's not just a black body. It's not just an African body or Caribbean body or black American body or English, white, European body. It's supposed to be a body of collective people who have given their life to Christ, born again, raised in Him. I'm just saying, right? So when I'm playing this video, understand the context, and I'm going to answer certain questions, my brother, yeah, from the exposer, because we're at a point that I believe that God has raised us up to bring to the forefront, yeah, some of the stuff that needs to happen. Now, I've been bringing this stuff to Christians a long time and to leaders a long time. Put my phone on silent. Right, to leaders a long time, and I haven't got the answers that I thought is an answer that I would see compelling to make a change. Yeah, and I'm talking about 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, and when you look into history, it shows you that nothing's really changed, but yet things remain the same. And we're the ones that's holding up Jesus coming back. Yeah, whether it's through a rapture or come back to judge the world. The reality is, we need an exit out of this madness, yeah? But because the body of Christ ain't right, and there's a scripture that comes up, and I'm going to show it to you right now. We got to make sure that we're on the narrow path. And the reason why I make these videos, it's not just about SPAC Nation. I saw a documentary that led me onto SPAC Nation, but I make videos on every other religion when the leaders do things that I will see not being right. And you know what? I'm going to start making videos about people who, the sheeps, not just the leaders, but the sheeps. Because the sheep's as much guilty as the leaders. They choose to follow the leaders that they can see. Really, they're living a lifestyle that's connected to prosperity gospel. But when it comes down to it, right, these sheeps who follow these leaders fail to read the Bible. They don't understand what tithes, offerings. They don't understand what it is to be a true Christian, a follower of Christ. Some of them are racist. Some of them are prejudiced. There are a lot of women in the congregation that are sexist. Some of these sheeps, if you knew the true heart of their intent, you'll understand a lot of things about them. Because you know what it is? We can't judge the heart, but we can judge what they say and how they portray themselves and what they're willing to do, how they live. That's the only thing you can judge people on. I'm not perfect. Believe me, I'm not. Yeah. But what it is that that fire is in my belly to wake up those who realize, you know what, I'm tired. I personally, I'm tired of being this person that I've been for so long. I need to now change myself and wake up a group of people, because I can't do it by myself. And I'm trying to reach out to people who can see this. And that's been my stumbling block. Because a lot of people are just comfortable in the same position, and we're living in a world where the world is changing, and we can't just continue down the same road while holding the banner of saying we are Christians. God forbid. It's like a dog that returneth to its vomit. Let's get into this.
By the way, oh my God, the new set of SPAC Nation people, they said they're going to let the dogs out. So all those who have been talking rubbish, but I've been thinking the reason why we're not going to let the dogs out is legal cases for people who a drug dealer gives £50 to go on YouTube, and then they're receiving legal letters in their mom's house to stuff. I was pitying them, but the new pastor's not having it. So, and our lawyers are who lets the dogs out people. Well, I'm still thinking, Sha. But anyways, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. Should I I don't want to be the church that sues or the people that sue legals. But man, I think I've got to wreck this black community thing before I leave. I mean, not me, the new pastors.
Welcome to the exposure. So you guys just watched the video where Toby is basically assuming he could get his lawyers to sue for legal fees, apparently, for the people who have been online, on YouTube specifically, talking about his church or his members. This is what he's saying. Well, there's a lot of people who've been talking online about his members. And if he didn't know, SPAC Nation is an organization. They call themselves a church. So it's for the public. So everyone has an opinion. Everyone has the right to have an opinion about his church. And for the members that went to his church and left, they have the right to speak about their experiences, especially if they were mistreated. They have the right to do these things. It's freedom of speech. And this is what happens when you're a public organization. People should have the right to talk about what they've experienced and what they've seen, and people should have a right to give their opinion of what SPAC Nation are displaying. If you're a church that wants to go on social media also and display the lifestyle that you guys all have money, you all drippy, and you're a church that also has rappers and all these things, then you should be used to people giving their opinions. But that's not the main concern here. The main concern here is it tells us that SPAC Nation's Toby is finally accepting that he has been defeated. And this is just the open threat. Believe it. What would he sue for? That's the first question. What would he actually sue for? Now, I can't talk for everyone's platforms, and I don't know how many people have done videos against SPAC Nation or spoken about their members. But what we can say about our platform is we have just played the videos that SPAC Nation themselves publicly put out. And on top of that, we have given our opinions and our facts. So therefore, there's nothing to really sue about. People are entitled to give their opinions of what's out there. And that's what happened. Toby calls himself a public figure. That's exactly what's written on his Instagram. He is a public figure. And what happens to public figures? They give an insight to their lifestyle and people judge them. But on this platform, we're not here to judge. We're just here to tell the truth. And we've always said that our platform has a lot of ex-SPAC Nation members. And we're also in communication with people who have allegedly been misused or mistreated, or people who have been scammed or, by SPAC Nation members. And that is a fact. So Toby can attempt to sue whoever he wants to sue, but he needs to be prepared if he does that. And I don't think he will do that. Because a lot of the people who have spoken about SPAC Nation, I'm talking about the ones who have actually witnessed some of the things that are out there, they can't be sued. They can't be sued. They're just speaking the truth. They're speaking the truth. And on our platform, we have said everything that is public. Nothing that's been mentioned on the exposer isn't public. The things that are not public, we would of course use the word allegedly, just because there's no there may not be the exact paperwork or the actual proof right in front of everyone. That's why we use the word allegedly. But guess what? A lot of the things that we may have said allegedly on our platform, the ex-members who are obviously in communication with us, or people who have been exploited by SPAC who are in communication with us, have their evidence. So therefore, nothing. They can't be sued either, because they have their proof. So this is just an open threat. This is just him feeling uncomfortable with the truth that's been coming out, with the arrests, with the raids, and a lot of things. And he knows that the information that's come out about him, about why he could be going back to Nigeria, is hurting him. This is why he spent 2 whole sermons talking about people online. Literally. I have another video which I will play where I feel like he directly tries to talk about the exposers page, but we will talk about that another time. But in this video here, Toby is just confirming to us that he has been defeated, and he used the word these members. First he said he's thinking about legal fees and stuff, and after he's like, no, he's members, and then he said they're ready to let the dogs out. Let the dogs out. We encourage them to do it. No problem. Because if this ever goes to court or anything like that, all we have to do is show the videos and say, listen, this is what his pastor is saying. So we are talking based on what his pastor is saying. If he has pastors who are telling people that they need to raise this amount of money, they need to do this. If we have pastors who have been abusive in text messages, we have pastors who've sent voice note telling people to raise unbelievable amount of money in a small amount of time. If we have videos of his pastors saying that they are targeting people from broken homes to house them so that they can get benefits, these are all on videos. So the evidence speaks for itself. Now, even on other platforms who have spoken about SPAC Nation, they are 100% entitled to speak about SPAC Nation, because some of these people who spoke out against SPAC Nation are Christians who obviously are not happy with how SPAC Nation are representing the churches. So they're entitled to speak about what they've seen, what they've experienced, what they've witnessed. So they don't just talk for the sake of talking. Some of these guys have also been in communication with ex-SPAC members and current SPAC members. So they are entitled to also talk about their opinions regarding how SPAC Nation is run as a church. If SPAC Nation do not like that, then they should delete every social media platform. They should just go and do their sermons behind closed doors. They shouldn't put it on YouTube. They shouldn't put it on Instagram. They shouldn't do that. If you're afraid for people to give their opinions, because now it shows that he's taking it away from church. And now, if you're not afraid to be judged, or you're not afraid of people giving their opinion like you've made it look like, then you won't talk about lawyers and suing or things like that. And that just tells us that, yes, you are openly admitting that you have lost this battle. You have lost it. You have nothing left. So now all you're doing is open threats. And do what you have to do. Do what you have to do, because you'll be suing a lot of people. And guess what? These people will be suing you, because there's members, ex-SPAC Nation members, who have been in depression, who have suffered because of their experiences at your church. So let the game begin. We are just here to expose the truth, and we're just here to encourage people who walk away, who are not comfortable in SPAC Nation. We're there to encourage. We don't do it because because we just want to do it. We're doing it because we care. Like I said, a lot of the members behind the exposure are also people who went to SPAC Nation. And we also in communication with a lot of broken people who have left SPAC Nation. So we feel like we have a platform where we can express our opinions and talk the truth. So our truth comes from multiple sources, from multiple people. And guess what? The evidence is there. These people have paperwork. These people have text messages. These people have evidence. So he's definitely not talking about our channel. And he definitely can't be talking about any other channel who's giving their opinion about his members. Because if he didn't want his members to be judged or his members to be under this limelight, then they should not have gone public and spoken some of the things they have said. Now, even family members of some of his current members have spoken out about his organization. Is he gonna go and sue them as well? He's defeated. All this play acting he's doing in these videos no longer work. Nobody cares about that. The only thing people care about is the truth. And we know today that SPAC Nation is not run appropriately. We know that. We know that the system he's created at SPAC Nation is not the right way. The way he's done it may have convinced certain people that he had a good heart and how he probably had wanted to do something good at the start but became selfish. That's the narrative some people want to talk. But if people really understand, this has been going on for a very, very, very long time. And since SPAC Nation went viral and public, where everyone started to know about SPAC, These things were going on way before that. So this is why people need to understand it had nothing to do with him wanting to be good from the start. Only he will know that, deep down in his heart. But then for someone to go so many years of doing the same thing, encouraging these loans, these debts, and not even for once acknowledge that he's done anything wrong, tells us this is a man that doesn't care. And this is a man that knew exactly what he was doing from the beginning. It has nothing to do with selfishness and greed. But didn't want to make this video long, but this is basically what's happened. He's threatening. This is not the first time. He said it in one of his sermons as well, where they've got the best lawyers and all these things. But BBC Panorama happened. He threatened that he spoke to a lot of lawyers and they told him there's nothing to worry about. This is just open threats. This man would never, 3-4 years ago, this man would never respond like that. Today he's responding with the lawyer talk. He went on the Zizi Mill show and she asked him, why don't you basically sue people that have spoken about your church? And he said that he wouldn't want to waste 5k on that when he could use it to do something better with it. But this is the same man that can spend 10k on a watch. He can spend 5k on just his outfit and all these things. The reason why this man cannot sue is because he's got a lot of people to sue. And these same people he can sue, are the same people that will sue him back. And if this goes to court, everyone knows who's winning that. He knows he has no chance. Where there's video evidence, you cannot convince anybody different. You cannot. You've been on videos contradicting so many things. You've openly lied about the finances at your church. You've lied about the rent. When there's paperwork, there's evidence of how much your church has spent on rent and other things and members you pay. So this guy does not want to go through the legal way. So this is, I'm telling anyone that sees this video that has done videos about SPAC Nation that may be concerned and things like that, do not be concerned. SPAC Nation, if SPAC Nation decide to sue anybody, know that you can sue them back. And you've got proof, they don't have proof against you. All you're doing is giving your opinion. And them being a public organization with a public figure at the top of it, a guy who loves the interviews, the guy who loves to brag about himself, the guy who loves to brag and loves being in the limelight, and a guy who also has members in his church who are part of a music group, which means you're another public figure. You can't go and just sue people because you want to sue them, because you don't have that kind of money to do that. And we will say this. SPAC Nation do not have that kind of money. Start by paying back the people you owe money to before you start talking about legal fees.